Go next to top transfer targets, and we'll start out with my guy Harry Kane of Spurs. What do you think happens with Harry Kane this summer?
Tricky one, this one, because you sense that he wouldn't like to go abroad. I don't know why. I don't know the bloke. So, but what you read is he doesn't want to go abroad because Real Madrid are in the frame. They want him. The other team they're talking about is Man United, and you sense that he'd prefer to go there more than Real Madrid. However, Spurs don't want to sell him to another Premier League team. I don't believe. Who knows what Levy's going to pull? But I could probably, quite honestly, with Harry Kane, I don't know. This happened the same time last year, and I really don't know. Anything could happen, and that's going to be really interesting to watch.
It is, and what's weird is the amount of money seems to have gone up this year, even though he's a year older. Like, and if you haven't seen the reports, kind of here are the reports for what we have so far. Madrid won Harry Kane. Harry Kane would like to stay domestic there in England, and Levy doesn't want to sell him to a domestic rival. So United seem to be the obvious choice. There's also the reports that Levy now wants, last year was 100 million pounds. Madrid may have been willing to match that. Now he wants to start at 200 million pounds to bring Harry Kane in, and at that age, it's just too much to ask for. I would like tell me if I'm off on this, and maybe it's because I'm an American and we've only watched Premier League for 10 years. When a guy is giving you that kind of service the way that Harry Kane has, you have not surrounded him with enough talent ever at any point in time. The chairman has been a train wreck, and you haven't won silver, and it's not his fault. The guy's been amazing. You'd think you would want to do right by the guy. And if he would like to go, and I get maybe you don't want to sell him to a London club. You're not selling him to Arsenal. But if he wants to go to United, let him go to United. You're going to have to rebuild this thing anyway because Levy's running to the ground. So why not sell him to United? If he wins silver there, okay, good for him. But I just don't understand the idea of if his wishes, when he's been such a good soldier for so long, and when he had the opportunity last summer to have to really make noise and get sent out and force his way out if he wanted to, he didn't do that. He was a good soldier the entire time. I would just like to see Daniel Levy honor his requests, and if he'd like to stay in the EPL, send him to a team in the EPL. But it does seem like if these reports are true, it tells me something about the kind of human being Daniel Levy is. It's just not, I don't respect people who do business that way or act that way or behave that way. And it's a little bit bothersome as a Spurs fan. Beyond all the other stuff that makes Daniel Levy a train wreck, it's bothersome for me as a Spurs fan that you're just going to try to screw Harry Kane on the way out after you screwed him the entire time that he was there. That's bothersome. Now, maybe Kane ends up with Manchester United and these are all negotiation tactics. Okay, that's fine. But I would say right now, if I was guessing, I think Harry Kane ends up in Madrid. I think that's where I think that is where he ends up, and I don't think Daniel Levy will sell him anywhere domestically.
And I think that'd be terrible. You said honor, and I think the honourable thing for Levy would be to let Kane go wherever he wanted to go. I mean, he's done so much for Spurs, pretty much on his own, especially this season. And last season there was an implication of a gentleman's handshake and on that he could go at the end of this season. But you're talking about a guy's livelihood or life now, aren't you? And he's going to get his money, Levy, wherever he goes. Let the guy go to Man United. Let him win a trophy or two, and it's no skin off Levy's nose. He'll get his money, whether it's Madrid or United, but or Wolves will take him. But but he should be allowed to go wherever. He's put in his time and he's earned his stripes, and so he's more than earned the ability to go the right to go wherever he wants to.
One other note for Spurs, I guess Hugo Lloris has said publicly he wants to leave Tottenham this summer. That's most likely going to happen. A lot of people think that David Raya is going to end up being the replacement for him in goal, and I would take that. I mean, that's a pretty, as a Spurs fan, that's a pretty easy transition. Chris, you're a Wolves fan. A lot of transition coming to Wolves this summer.
There is, and I don't know how Wolves get in financial fair play trouble because they always seem to be. Even though they don't seem to spend that much money, and they fill out the stadium every week. It's a great. They have great support, and so you think they'd have a bit in the bank to be able to spend, against what they take in. But they're in trouble. And Lopetegui, it's not sounding good now. Lopetegui came in, I think, on a promise of rebuilding over the summer. Now all of a sudden they're in financial FFP trouble. So Wolves can't spend over the summer. So they've got to let a lot of guys go. And Lopetegui's not too thrilled about it. So he was even touted as being Spurs' next manager. Who knows? They've already been down that road once with Nuno. That didn't work out so well. So I'm hoping Lopetegui stays at Wolves. But yeah, Neves. See, Neves, that's a similar thing to Kane, but on a much smaller scale. Neves has joined Wolves when Wolves were in the Championship. So no one at Wolves begrudges Neves a move to a bigger club, and I think Wolves are going to let him go. I think it's going to be Barcelona. That's what the rumors are. But I think all the Wolves fans and the Wolves owners seem to be wishing him well and letting him go where he wants to go for that Champions League soccer. So yeah, he's going. Traoré looks like he's at the end of his contract and he's going. Moutinho has been a good servant. They need a centre forward. I mean, I know I'm kidding about Kane, but someone a quarter as good as Kane would be decent. We need somebody, and Diego Costa's at the end of his contract now, I believe. You were telling me earlier on. So
he's 36. What do you do?
He's heading out, but he's been a great pest for Wolves, and he's just been a nuisance up there and done his part in keeping Wolves up this season. So I like Costa, but yeah, it does need a change up top.
Other big names, look at kind of a rebuild going on in Madrid right now with the number of the older players leaving. We're seeing Eden Hazard and Karim Benzema going to the Saudi League. So, but that's something to pay attention to from an EPL perspective, because what players that have been playing in England are going to end up going to Madrid as they go through this rebuild. One other note, I guess, that I will point out, I saw the report this morning that Manchester City going after Kovacic from Chelsea to be their new center midfielder, because that's what they need in midfield. De Bruyne, Kovacic, Grealish. That's what we're trying to see, right?
Yeah, they're a bit light, aren't they? In midfield at the moment, and he's beefing up a bit. Good move. I like Kovacic. I do. I really like him. I was surprised, though, actually. I didn't think he'd put anybody out. I guess he's cover for Gundogan, but I don't know if he'll get the same goals as Gundogan if Gundogan moves on to where he's going to move on to. But yeah, I mean, they just replace him with somebody else, don't they? And Messi would be decent, wouldn't he? Wonder where he's going to end up.
And the machine just keeps going, right? It's sitting. It does. Pep and his machine just keep mowing everything down that's possibly in their way. All right.